Yeah.
This is another one of those movies that if you laugh too much at it, you might be a bad person. And I laughed a fuck ton at this thing.
Oh God,
this movie is a better comedy than it is a thriller.
That's the blackest comedy I've ever seen. Man.
Absolutely, it's a dark comedy for sure.
It's a lot of stupid criminals dying in really stupid ways.
But like I said,
for the last 20 minutes, the first hour and 10 minutes is a lot of stupid criminals just kind of being off screen, except when they're on screen too much.
Right.
But the last 20 minutes is like this orchestrated, beautiful, like mistake,
Yeah, the last 20 minutes.
It definitely shows you the concept of rising action and rising stakes.
Yeah.
The first first interaction she has getting her laptop back, it's almost too easy.
Yeah, because the guy hits himself in the face with the Morning Star.
I know, but it's fucking hyper realistic. There's nothing extraordinary about any of the actions in this film.
I love the writing in this movie though. It's so clever when he's like, I can get these nuts, and she's like, wait, you can get these nuts? Like she's like,
oh, at that point I had to stop and explain to Eileen what that meant.
Where did these nuts come from? Because I've heard it.
But you know where these nuts came from, don't you? There's your answer.
No, we're not doing this. No,
come on.
We're not.
You can cut it out of the edit.
No, we're not doing this.
Fix it in post.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I will watch Melanie in anything.
Oh yeah,
I know. She's amazing. She's amazing.
Great. And in fact,
she's from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Like, can we just point out the fact that she's from New Zealand?
No idea.
She has one of the most.
That's why she's not falling down, running away from shit.
Her American accent's better than my American accent.
You know what we watched right after this?
And she was like this, she was in 2.5
the pilot episode.
Oh, hold on, John, you're
glitching.
Oh, am I cutting out again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said right after this we put on. Can you hear me?
Hello? Yeah, we can.
I said right after this we put on the first episode of the series Togetherness with Melanie Lynskey. So we had a little Lynskey-a-thon.
Oh, okay.
What a great show, man.
It was a good show.
It was on for just 2 seasons. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's really good.
But you watch Heavenly Creatures and you go, huh? And then one goes one way, but she has been, they're both good, but Melanie's been consistently interesting, but then just sort of slightly below the radar that entire time.
Right.
I just find her crazily watchable and just about anything.
Well, she came in 2.5 Men, right? And if you believe it's Douglas Sirk theory that she's the secret owner of that show. She's the one watching all the characters that are doing their thing in the foreground.
Yeah.
She's kind of like the Greek chorus of the show. It's great. She was the best. See her, then she just jumps off the patio at the end of her scenes. It's the best.
And did you guys pick up that the guy getting bit in the face by the snake was David Yao from Jesus Lizard?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
What the hell? Good casting.
Is that actually his like mouth, like
teeth?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I looked. He's been trying to like get the acting thing going for a while now, I guess.
He was great.
He's got a great look for that character.
Well,
oh my God,
a really
the casting
good job
in this
of
thing is just
when she
great.
picks that up and she washes it off and hands it back to him, and then
with energy drink or whatever.
Yeah, washes it off with energy.
Oh, the kid, the breaking artist, man, what a sociopath, huh?
Yeah, no
just
shit.
perfectly realized this guy with his.
You knew it. You knew it the minute he smiled in that mirror. You were just like, "What the?"
I know. He out Joker.
Wait, you didn't know that when he was shitting.
Yeah, you knew when he was shitting in the toilet.
Oh, the party thing. That was.
He was upper deckering.
It's an upper decker.
Upper
decker. Yeah. Now you finally saw one.
Yeah. He was good. And then when you got to his parents' house and met his parents, it was like,
dude, the actor that plays his dad is so fucking good.
That is a great. Of doing a lot with a few lines, that guy just cemented it, And
I'd like to point out that role, we've kind of seen that role a million times in a million movies.
Rich asshole?
Yeah, rich asshole who has to like sit there and give you, but this actor really brought something to that material. I think a lesser actor, we would have been all, this is a little too familiar ground.
Right.
I think he elevated
so
that.
Nasty. He was
that
so
actor elevated it to like.
The thing is, he was being an a-hole. He was being like this total like rich guy who doesn't give a fuck about anything. But he also had a tiny spark of contrition.
I think so
too. He knew
too.
He fucked up his kid.
Yeah.
And there was like that kind of made him, and all the characters in this have a human aspect, except for
he was very human.
When he found out his kid was dead, he had, even though he was bleeding out at the time. You could see the remorse on his face. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Oh, that was really wonderfully complex.
But you could
I
also
feel
see
like
the remorse.
I honestly feel like there are like 4 or 5 people who did this better on Justified, to be honest. Like this is a Justified episode. Like
Pretty much.
if you guys haven't watched Justified,
With the ending from Gross Point Blank and Out of Sight.
And maybe
Out of Sight is exactly what I was going to reference.
Actually,
Yeah,
a
that's
Susan of Ozark
It doesn't
too.
have the guy
when the guy
tripping
falls
on-
on the stairs.
It doesn't have the guy
Right,
tripping
right.
on the stairs and shooting himself in the head, but
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
But this is-
Like the big rich person's house, and there's a shootout in the kitchen, and people die really stupidly.
I haven't
But
seen
realistically-
Justified, but I think this is better than.
But it's a lot like
Out of
Ozark
Sight.
too. It's that
And I
kind
think-
of touching that era.
Ozark is
area.
a ripoff of Justified. By the way.
Whatever.
Correct.
It's all good.
I think this all
there-
owes
there
something
was-
to Tarantino. You know, I mean, you
A
definitely
little bit.
You know,
No,
certainly,
no,
but-
it was not. It was
the
better
end.
than Tarantino.
But it's that
but
it's that
it owes
holy
just as
shit
much
kind of.
to,
It's the holy shit style of comedy.
It owes just as much to Tarantino, but probably more to the Coen brothers, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah,
this is
very
definitely
much,
more
very
Coen
much.
Okay.
Brothers.
I had two things. This is the second film I watched with my
This is
wife. and-
incredibly stupid criminals.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
top to bottom dumbasses.
Yeah, the second one I've watched with the missus, and she loved this film. She liked it better than I did. She loved this film.
Well, I think what.
And second
I
of
think
all,
Really
this is
entertaining.
oh, you know what? This was all shot. You know, it was all shot around Portland.
Portland.
And now, if you spent some time in Oregon, you realize that worst people in the world are from Oregon. They're the biggest a-holes. I'm sorry if you're from Oregon and watching this.
Emma,
But-
if you watch this, do you want
Uh-huh.
Scott? Not
Is
me.
it actually worse than Wyoming though?
It's worse than I know. They're
Is it
very
worse than
unfriendly.
Huntington Beach?
You'd be
I don't think
amazing how
Indiana's worse
unfriendly
than-
people are from that state. How just weird and unfriendly they are.
Yeah, because they don't have to pump their own gas. So you go.
Oh yeah, that gives them a sense of whatever.
That makes them really angry.
That makes them, no, that makes things like the shit don't stink. That's what makes it think. But that's
real quick before I forget though, real quick, let's go back to that moment where when he finds out his son isn't alive anymore, his hands fucked up, and the guys open the safe. That moment, both of those actors in that moment, there was like it was one of the most human moments in the movie where he's like, "Where's my son?" And he goes, "Buddy, you don't have
a son."
And he's just, and the guy's crying.
I
because
know.
You understand that they both love that kid right then
Right.
and there
Right.
For different reasons.
for different reasons. Yeah.
Right.
Also,
We haven't
can
talked
we
much
talk-
about Frodo Baggins.
Elijah Wood. Elijah
Oh,
Wood.
Frodo
is
did a great job.
So
man.
good in this movie.
He was
Yeah,
really
he
good.
really did.
Also,
He's-
start out
he's-
as an a-hole.
My
with the-
haircut.
with the
I
dog
haven't-
No,
trapping in
he's
the.
not an asshole. He's
No, I don't think he's an asshole.
As
No, he
he
started out
specific-
doing an assholish thing that she called him on,
but
and he
as
immediately.
he specifically says,
Uh-huh.
like, I'm sorry, I just got caught too much up in my thoughts.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, that's
And-
not me.
Mhm.
Yeah, and like when he's like, you can hit me, it's fine. Like
Mhm.
I'll just leave my guard down. And you can come
Well,
and
he's
hit me.
he doesn't really no, he's a good person.
Mhm.
He's just one of those people that, like, when he heard she got robbed, he got inappropriately angry about that, right? Like he's like,
Yeah.
we're gonna go avenge your house.
You don't
without
get to
even
be
knowing
madder
her,
than
like-
she is,
No,
dude.
no, he's like
Yeah,
a
but
he's
he
like
is.
a gamer dude with nunchucks and like throwing
Yeah,
stars.
and,
He's ready to
the
go,
correct
man.
term is
Also a
nunchaku.
Christian.
Nunchaku.
Of course.
Takes him to
Also,
church.
quick question: do you think? And this is a spoiler alert. Put that on right now. Do you think at the end?
Are we
that
talking
she
about
im-
angrier than she
No.
is?
that? Do you think she imagined that he would die? He was alive, or do
No,
you think he actually?
He's alive.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, because they get back
Because
together.
they pull.
But
a couple of
but
tricks in
Scott,
there.
that's a good question, because the way they light that scene,
yeah.
it looks like it could be a dream, like a daydream.
Right.
Yeah.
And she went to
Yeah.
church by herself, and there was a lot of like.
That's
The-
because
the
he was
church-
in the hospital.
Well, the church by herself, that also was a thing for me where I was like, maybe he isn't real. But yeah,
not real, but
that
he
would
was
explain it.
dead. He died. That's what I'm
Not
thinking.
dead. I mean, yeah, not alive anymore.
Mhm.
Not, of course, he's been
He
real,
was
but
a
dead.
ghost the whole time.
No, let's not go there.
I
Let's not
see
go
dead
there.
people.
What else did this person do?
Mhm.
So
Who
this
made
person this is an actor named Macon Blair.
Oh, right, the fucking guy from Blue Ruin.
He starred in
Right,
Blue Ruin,
right.
Right.
Okay.
which is a phenomenal film as
Phenomenal.
well.
It was one of my. It's been on my short list forever.
Well,
And that
he-
was done by his buddy Jeremy Saulner, who was
Yes.
a crazy good director, who also went on to do Green Room.
Green
Green
Room.
Room,
Great.
right.
well, dude, the guy, whoever
Darius Patrick
Green
Stewart
Room
was playing
sucks. You're all insane.
Oh man, it's great.
Oh,
who
no.
wrote did he write this, or who wrote this? It was,
He
it was
wrote
writing-
and directed this himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Okay,
actually
because-
in it. He's in it at the very, very beginning.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah,
guy at the
he's in the
bar that
bar.
spoils the
Yeah.
book for her.
Yeah, because the last
And then
That sucked.
he's
That
like,
genuinely
don't
sucked.
tell me what happens.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And his wife is the lady who plays Christian's
because I think we only compare
mother, right?
Right.
compare and contrast to Happy Go Lucky. I
She was
thought
great.
That film was so forced
He
and
was
so
the
indie
most
film
sympathetic
feeling.
character, I think.
I believe
No, Caesar's the most
believe
sympathetic
this movie. I
character
believe this
because
film.
he's just being paid to be there.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
the
and he
security
just
guard.
fucking gets murdered.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. I
like-
felt bad for him. We were having two conversations at the same time, but
The bodyguard of the
Yeah.
rich
Yeah.
dad.
Cesar.
yeah.
He's just
There's
he's like
something about
he's
I knew you-
obviously like a former Marine or something, and he got hired by this rich guy to be his bodyguard,
That
and
was
then he
hila-
just gets fucking murdered because
if
this idiot's asshole son thinks that he has cash in his fucking vault in the fireplace,
Yeah.
and he just gets shot. Like, and it's just like, God damn it, that guy was fine. Like, he didn't do anything.
No.
there's just such a I knew that you guys, most of you would
What?
probably like this because if you're anything like me, there's just a whole like
I don't
what
feel
the
at
fuck
home
is
in this
wrong
world
with
anymore.
people,
No.
aspect to this
Dude,
movie.
like I said,
Like-
this
Well,
film captures a certain zeitgeist about
Panic.
people
Just
just
that
really
line,
not.
everyone is an asshole.
Everyone's an
Yeah,
asshole.
she's like,
I just want people to stop being
stop being
assholes.
assholes.
because people are. That's how it is, man. This captures something
that's the
essential about
lament
how
of
things
this
are in this
movie.
country.
And
That is
that
the
part of the
lament
film
of
just
this
spoke
movie.
to me so much.
No
I think
shit.
like I'm a big fan of Curb Your Enthusiasm and stuff like that as well. Like it's just people are fucking horrible, and this just really captured that, but in a really wonderfully balanced sort of funny and dark and real sensibility.
Now I'm getting off to it.
It's a
I'm
great,
going-
it's a great framing of like just how your what's the word for hating humankind?
Misanthropy.
Misanthropy. Thank you.
Misanthropy.
Yeah.
How your misanthropy can just lead to like existential despair because she's like fixating on her dead grandmother.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
I
her
love
dead grandmother
all
does save her in the
When
woods.
No, hold on.
die, when you die.
We talk about
No, Jared. Hold on, Jared.
her
just jump
savior in the woods.
Let me jump in on something you said there about comparing this to Curb Your Enthusiasm. That show celebrates being an asshole. It
Yes.
celebrates being going on other people's personal spaces and fucking them up
As
and
did
laughing it off.
Seinfeld.
This film, the lead character, when she gets violated, she picks that as her project to make the world a better place, to right things.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I was
she's a
comparing
force
it-
of justice in there, and that's great.
Yeah, she's a superhero.
yeah.
I was comparing it in the regard of I believe that Larry David sees asshole shit around him and calls them out on it.
I did think
Al-
the opposite. I think
also,
he
he's
celebrates
the
that.
biggest
asshole that
asshole.
it is.
Yeah.
Also,
the
he
biggest asshole.
is himself also an asshole, and that is a difference. You're right. She's not an asshole. This woman. This
Yeah.
character.
Well,
I
mind you,
just want
Jared,
to point out. I want to point out one quick thing,
Go ahead.
which is right before this scene that I have behind me.
Oh,
The rack zoom when he starts praying on his cross,
yeah.
and then it fucking racks back to her sitting in the driver's seat. And she's like, "Oh, I fucked up. I fucked up bringing this guy with me." It's so fucking funny. Like I'll be honest, I didn't really like this movie,
Mhm.
but it's not because it's not good. It's just I just didn't enjoy it. Like I
Is anxiety making for you, maybe?
no, it's okay in a couple of ways, and it's just whatever. But like there are some incredibly funny parts in this movie, and that part is so fucking funny where it just zooms back to her and she's just like, God, why did I take this fucking idiot who has the fucking push-up rack in his fucking back room
It's called a
And-
bench press, dude.
and his dumb shit. Thank you, man. And his dumb shit dog and all of that other stuff. And
Kevin's a sweet dog.
Kevin.
Kevin is not a dog
name-
name.
It's a golden retriever.
No, that's
Dog's
a-
name
that-
is
But
Kevin.
that was also comedy when he's like, Kevin, no, shut up. When she's trying to talk
Yeah.
to him.
No,
and he's
that's
great.
that's a tip of the hand to the movie Up, I think.
Yeah, like
Kevin's a Bear's name, honestly. But like
Okay.
it's one of those things where it's just like I didn't love
I
this
love-
movie but
Oh.
like there's certain parts of this, there's certain scenes in it that I just thought were fucking hysterical.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like
I love when she's trying to describe the no poop sign to him. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
it's got the thing.
it
and
doesn't
Mile-
say no
It's a
shitting,
symbol.
but
Pile
it's
of shit.
poop, and it has a
Everybody knows what
line.
that means.
like,
Oh, let me just talk about the cinematography in this thing.
Well, then
I
he goes
fell-
and picks up the
Oh, wait,
poop
oh, wait.
too. He goes and
Oh,
picks it up.
Mhm.
and
yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
They're a great odd couple. I mean,
No, I fell in
the
love
scene
with
you
the
described,
look.
Tad.
The
It's like
look of
it
this film.
indicates-
Go ahead, John.
It just indicates that like these people shouldn't be friends,
Mhm.
but circumstances make them be friends, and it's a weird relationship, but it works.
Well, and the whole dancing part when they get back after getting the laptop.
I
Yeah,
love
it was
that.
fun.
That
I
was
love
There's
fun.
that.
so much elation
was-
for what they just got away with, and I think the better, maybe it's the better part of the movie is before it gets to sort of what we're calling the Coen Brothers or Tarantino inspired kind of just the
Which
melee.
really is
of-
just kind of the last 40%.
But it's done so
It's
well.
less,
really
it's
do
less
think-
20 minutes.
But I
think
loved
it's
that, and I loved when they went to the weird junk sale place.
Oh,
where
how
about
they-
the
she
owner
got
of
her
that
silver
place?
back.
I've
just
seen a
that
few of
the
those in my
danger-
day, man.
We could all appreciate the danger of those stakes because we've
Yeah.
all sort of been in those kind of situations
Yeah.
versus what played out at the end.
I agree with John. That little celebratory dance that they have, even though it was something sort of minor, like as a normal person, any of us, it takes a lot of guts to go do what they did.
That
going
would
to
be like
house
the
and get-
biggest day.
It
Yeah.
would be like you would go home and your heart would be racing and you would just be
Right.
like, what the fuck did we?
well, and
Right.
Jared,
So they're-
and Jared,
they're-
you have a table behind you that someone could dance on top of for that.
Yeah.
Well, it's just I love that.
That's
scene
not
as
a
well.
joke. That literally you could.
Yeah, I love that scene as well, though. And but I think Scott wanted to say something about the cinematography.
Oh my God, this film was so gorgeous, and it was a low budget film. They just did some beautiful color work in here,
Mhm.
nice shallow depth of field stuff, good scope compositions throughout. Like spreading people inside the frame.
Well,
just
speaking of the,
Almost every other scene was like, "This is perfect. This is perfect." The
Yeah,
guys
there were-
really,
Nice.
whoever the DP was, really thought about how to really present it in a natural way. And
Even
they
the
just-
crash zoom on his teeth when he
yeah,
gets
it was
knocked out.
great.
They're
It was
just-
great, and the
Yeah.
fireflies at the end, the last scene. Oh, the
well,
Majus.
there's one scene
yeah.
I want to bring up. It's where they're both on the couch and it's
Mhm.
kind of like golden hour, and she
Mhm.
just puts her head on his shoulders.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Light that
Yeah.
comes through. That the cinematography there was like just absolutely breathtaking because it was like the light coming through the curtains in the window of the living
Mhm.
room and like.
Mhm.
But also going back to, I think both a great example of the cinematography, but also I think the brilliance of Macon as a filmmaker is that when she finds her silver, it doesn't want to do like I've never seen a better flashback in any movie. It's just her mom on the couch smoking a cigarette, laughing for 2
I
seconds.
know,
Well,
it's
and
the
then-
best.
But that comes in-
Shit.
She
For her
comes in
grandma.
from the side.
It's her grandma going ha 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 with a long Virginia Slim, and then it goes right back to her. And because I've never had a movie like I was all, dude, she can smell her grandmother right now. She
Oh,
can
yeah,
see
yeah.
her.
Right.
She can
And,
smell
and
her.
they didn't have to get all literal and show you her using the silverware. Or something.
Right. It was just
Like I
Oh
said,
my God.
stab,
It was like a-
stab
but
at realism.
she
That's how
comes in
memories
from
work.
The side
Right.
and is just like looking at her and like happy about whatever's going on, whatever they're talking about.
and then it
in
was the
that
brilliant
fight.
precursor to Grandma in the Woods going.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which
It was
is a
just
Coen
fucking
Brothers
perfect.
move if I ever saw one.
Mhm.
right.
No,
Yeah,
but if it
but
was a Coen Brothers move, it would be Adrian Brody.
No, Macon Blair, even though he's borrowed from Coen Brothers, he's staked his own territory out here. I think he's got a promising future.
Oh
I
yeah,
was
and he's
very impressed.
like we talked about. He was in one of the best, indie action films of a few years back, and
Which
Blue
is
Ruin is really
Blue
good.
Ruin.
Well,
Oh,
I
Blue
just
Ruin.
hope he has something else going in terms of the next film
Really good.
because
you can follow him on Twitter.
yeah, this is like a
Yeah.
Blood Simple type film in terms of like
Yes.
making an
Yeah.
impression.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
blood simple.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of hand violence, so yes, it's
A lot of
much
hand,
more
yes, there's a lot
blood
of hand violence.
So many fingers.
Well, actually, that one scene where he gets his hand blown off really reminded me of Travis Bickle there in Taxi.
Oh yeah, and
Yes,
Taxi Driver.
that too.
Absolutely.
Who was that?
and
Is that-
Miami Blues. This goes
Yeah.
into the
No, Miami
genre
Blues,
of
the whole
Miami
finger
Blues.
thing again. It's
Hand
like I
violence.
know it's just
Well,
not good.
All those movies, I don't know what the genre is, but it's like that pain.
It's like this. It's
painfully
like crime comedy. It's
crime
like
comedy,
Yeah.
grungy crime comedy. I guess I don't know, but
We
I'm
could
gonna
Wikipedia
call
calls
him
it
horrific-
comedy thriller.
I'm gonna call him
Terrific
finger.
naming-
You know, I'm gonna call him
Terrific namings played for
No,
laughs.
finger noir. What do you think? Finger
Yeah.
noir. All right.
Finger noir.
Okay.
Finger
So
noir.
we have face acting and we have finger noir. Those are the
Okay, there it is.
Or I think it should
Those
just
are-
be
those are-
finger acting.
Those are sub genres.
that's
no,
the
that's,
Muppets.
it's,
That's-
it's fewer finger acting. It's,
I have to admit, I don't know why. I just want to say this though. I think I watched it again this week. I think this is the 8th time I've seen this movie.
Whoa.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
When this
Me
movie
too.
came out on Netflix, I was actually at Sundance where this premiered, but it was opening night and I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
there. I came the next night
Mm.
and I heard about it, but then of course, just like every other person, I just watched it on Netflix when it came out. But I seriously watched it like 4 times in 1 week when it first came out.
That's great, man.
I was just in love.
It's so watchable. It's so entertaining.
I'm in love with this film.
I know we're all yelling to say good things about the film. which
That's the
is
thing.
kind of
Like, it's
interesting.
just. Well, I guess Tad didn't like it ultimately.
I'm
but
I'm
I
at like
thought it
60% with this.
Okay.
Jim,
What?
what did you think overall?
Jim, you're on a podcast.
What's your percentage?
Wait a minute. Where am I?
No, Jim. No, this is part of Jim's character work.
Yeah.
Jim, wake up, Jim. We're still here.
What did you think overall?
Narcolepsy. Yeah, I thought I was in a Gus Van Sant movie for a second.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
You're just counting money, and Sideshow Bob's gonna run up and be like, "Hey, we're not here."
It was a very long time for me to get to actually enjoy the film. I really hated everybody for like the first half of the movie. And
Oh, even the lead woman? Oh my gosh.
especially her.
There we go, right there.
I've dealt
Why?
with too many people who think both these movies actually were like paeans to libertarianism. You know, it's like my liberty. I get to do whatever the fuck I want, but the rest of you should all follow the rules. I don't know. But then when it got to the Coen
But
brothers,
isn't she
I
I
sort
thought
of
she was
perked up.
isn't she a crusader for people
Justice?
not doing whatever they want all the
Well,
time?
I do like the fact that she's not a stupid, girl runs away and falls down from the monster in this,
Mhm.
bizarre little movie.
No, she crushes that dude's fucking throat.
She
Just
crushes
right-
his throat. She falls into the swamp and she sees the black snake and she knows stay still until it
Oh,
goes by.
Does everyone know what a water moccasin is? Because
that a water
that
moccasin?
was the thing to me where it was like, you need to know what a water moccasin is for
That's
that
a
last-
bad fucking snake.
It
yeah,
is
yeah.
venomous.
for that last scene to hit, you have to be like, that's a fucking water moccasin. Like,
Well, there's water and a viper, so hopefully you put it together.
Yeah.
Oh, Jim brought up something good about libertarianism because this movie talks about, it shows in the first act all these people doing whatever they want because they think they have absolute liberty. They're going to knock things off the shelf. They're going to cut in line. They're going to act like a-holes because liberty, liberty, liberty. I get to do whatever I want because I'm an American. And she's the victim of all this. And she is always annoyed and held.
it starts with extreme racism.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. And then
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
at the point
Dude,
where
that
she
shit
starts
was
asserting herself,
hilarious.
it's not a libertarian way of asserting herself. It's simply a way of asserting an overall sense of justice.
No, she's not a libertarian, but
No.
the movie does have a slightly libertarian vibe to it.
Yeah.
Oh no, it just shows us that the
But only-
libertarians are the
only-
rich guys, and the rich guys are assholes. That's what I said.
Yeah, but it doesn't
Uh-huh.
I don't think if there's a libertarian vibe, it's not the movie.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's a libertarian movie. I'm just saying it as
Yeah,
a
okay,
vibe.
okay.
There's a
But-
vibe.
But
a
I love
negative
how-
vibe, but a vibe.
Everything's set up so well though, because the next time someone knocks something off the shelf, she's gone through so much shit where she's just like, pick up your shit and like puts,
Mhm.
she's crossed that line. She's standing up to
Yeah,
everyone.
it does have the good bookends
Mhm.
with that.
It does, yes.
Also, there's that bit at the end where the guy was rolling coal and all that stuff that stacks with the smoke coming out. She has an expression like, "Oh, just fucking go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get upset about this anymore. This isn't."
Yeah, she
you know,
can't
I
stop
love
him.
to think I love to think about part of the reason I picked both these movies,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'm saying this a little early, I know we haven't talked about the second one yet, but was because I feel like these are small indie pictures that I really like and that I think that like John will understand, like these are movies that we could potentially make, you know what I mean, sort of.
Mhm. Oh
And-
yeah.
And also like, so as a filmmaker, when I saw that scene with the big truck with the stacks,
Yeah.
I thought how fun was that for them to like you know, they got that guy on one day and they're like, okay, go to this, you know, pull your truck up to the stop light. And they put her in the car. They had her one outfit and then they switched it and put it, you know, different time of day, put her in the car again with a different outfit. And they just did, and the director had to be like, okay, first you're pissed off. Now you're kind of whatever. And I just love little things like that. It's like, you know, that just happened in like, you know, 3 hours or 2 hours. They just
did a lot with a few scenes. It's great. It's really well done. A great indie filmmaking 101.
The bar, I think, is a really well shot thing too. Like, because the group is behind her, and you only see it.
The composition,
like not in focus, and then she's sitting there, and then the guy's talking to her, and he gets up.
Yeah.
They even made up their own. I mean, I'm not a reader of that kind of literature, but
they made up a series of
they
novels.
made up like a series of books even for this, you know.
Yeah,
like,
fantasy novels or whatever.
Yeah, fantasy novel series.
That was a good scene because it was a bait and switch. She had, you know, it was Act 1 stuff. It was like the world is beating her down. The potato chip guy didn't pick up his potato chips, and all the other, you know, the lady died in the
dude. Can we
the racist
performance?
Stew.
I don't know who that actress
is. And she gets to the bar and she connects with this guy, and for a moment you're thinking like, "Oh, finally!" And then he goes,
"He's an asshole."
Yeah,
he like spoils like a whole series of books for her.
You'll get there, and you'll get there.
It was all obvious anyway.
Yeah,
yeah. The signs were all there if you really think about it.
What a dick.
Yeah.
Good pick.
All right. Well,
and who later?
Double thumbs up because my wife liked it.
Oh, my wife.
Sandy wouldn't have said so for this.
I think I literally have seen this like 8 times.
What, Jim? Who? What?
Who's the character who says don't spoil the fucking book? Is it Elijah Wood?
Yeah.
That's how you can tell he's a good guy.
How about when he retrieves his throwing star the first time and he can't get it out and he
can't get it out of the
way. He pulls all that and he goes, "That's how hard I threw it."
That's how hard I threw it.
That's the best.
And then only to later on have that chick behind Scott get it right in the cheek.
No, that was
so good.
Her death was nuts.
Dude.
Well, she turns around and the gun blows up.
It was long over.
Yeah. Well, that gun was a Chekhov's exploding in your face gun.
It was
where'd you get
this? A Chekhov MacGuffin.
Yeah, exactly.
From a fucking pirate ship.
Yeah, exactly. All that was it was all set up. Hey, well done, man.
She's like trying to force the round into it too.
I've been watching this. This is something bad's gonna happen. That's gonna not in a good way. The person shooting it. Yeah.
At the worst possible time.
Well, and she shoots his hand off with it, and then shoots her hand off with it.
Yeah.
Go back to the finger noir again.
Carmen's
more finger.